Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty video. Within this video, I want to talk about some sad news for the Modern Warfare sequel. I'm guessing they're just going to call it Modern Warfare 2, even though we already have a Modern Warfare 2. It seems like they're most likely going to go for the Roman numerals 2, instead to distinguish it from the original. But yeah, a lot of people were expecting us to see the sequel this year in 2021, but instead we're going to be seeing World War II Vanguard developed by Sledgehammer Games, because Modern Warfare has been a huge success and Activision just don't want to take the risk to rush that game and it not reach its maximum potential. So instead we're going to be seeing the Modern Warfare sequel in 2022 next year. Well, like I said earlier, we do have some sad news about the sequel because Taylor Kurosaki, the now former studio narrative director over at Infinity Ward, released this statement on Twitter the other day saying, "Hey everyone, Jacob Minkoff and I wanted to share an exciting update, more to come. Earlier this year, we decided to move on from Infinity Ward to pursue a rare and exciting new opportunity. It was an honor to be a part of the studio for the last 7 years, and we are so proud of what we created together with Modern Warfare and Infinite Warfare. We wish the team nothing but the best, so what's next for us? We can't say much for now, but we are looking forward to sharing more with you in the future." So yeah, if you guys are unaware, both of those guys used to work at Naughty Dog on The Last of Us, and prior to Infinite Warfare releasing, they moved over to Infinity Ward, and they are a big reason for both Modern Warfare's and Infinite Warfare's campaigns being so good, at least narratively wise. I've actually never played Infinite Warfare's campaign, but I always hear on Twitter about how good it is. I've played every single campaign since Call of Duty 4, apart from Infinite Warfare. You know, I just didn't enjoy that game, but I think at some point I'm probably going to get around to playing the campaign because everyone says it is so good. I just haven't gotten around to doing it just yet, unfortunately. But yeah, these two people are a big reason as to why Modern Warfare's campaign was done so well as this, you know, remake and a retelling of the Modern Warfare storyline. Well, it's basically a new storyline with some familiar characters that have been sort of updated to a more modern version of themselves. But there's plenty of new characters in the Modern Warfare campaign as well. So it's basically a new storyline with a twinkle of the past thrown in there and some similar storyline beats. So before I continue with everything else I wanted to talk about, this video has been kindly sponsored by Samire from Indie Boost. Samire is an indie narrative adventure game featuring a one-day journey through a picturesque Japanese village. In this enchanted place, a disenchanted girl named Samire meets a mischievous spirit who makes her a deal to fulfill her most desired wish. But in order to see this wish come true, she must complete a series of tasks in return before night falls and this special day reaches its end. Follow Samire on a series of quests, both big and small, given by charming forest creatures, quirky townspeople, and Samire's own heartfelt needs. Take or refuse them, but be wary. As this day progresses, your path will change and you may never get the same chance again. Discover collectibles, bonus items, tests of skill, and other challenges, some hidden, some not. Explore a variety of lush, beautiful environments rendered in a painterly style. A one-day time limit with the sky changing from the promise of morning to the soft twilight. All choices are finished when the sky turns to violet. Between the magical and the mundane, for a single day the magical world crosses with ordinary life for Samire. Within this ambiguous time, be extra mindful of words, choices, and actions taken. What waits at the end of the day? Guide Samire through her reality, her dreams, and her memories, as like I said, the sky changes throughout the day, and Samire too must come to terms with the changes that have affected her life as well as those around her. How Samire ultimately addresses these matters is influenced by the player's guidance, seeking to turn a life unlived into a final dream come true. One day, one life. Samire is a game about a shy girl who finds a magical flower that guides her through one perfect day, at the end of which she might get a special wish fulfilled. It's a story-based narrative adventure, but there are many moments of choice scattered throughout, when the player can get good or bad karma depending on the choices they make. These choices will affect the ending and other places. So the game features stunningly beautiful graphics, an awesome soundtrack that changes and flows through all the moments of the day, multiple choices, emotional moments with family, friends, bullies, etc. The game lets your emotions flow. And finally, it displays a sense of of wonder and connection to life, dreams, and an idealized perfect day. So if this game sounds like something you would be interested in, you can check it out on Steam via the link in this video's description. Anyways, bringing it back to the subject of the Modern Warfare sequel. This has me wondering about the sequel and how this is going to affect its storyline, because I'm assuming this Modern Warfare reboot is supposed to be another trilogy, maybe even a quadrilogy. And if the people who shaped the story are leaving, it really begs the question as to how good the storyline is going to be moving forward and who is going to be taking their place. Also, Taylor and Jacob haven't stated what projects they're working on now instead, so we'll just have to wait for that, but obviously it's a bit of a secret and they will have signed NDAs and stuff like that, but I wish for them the best in the future, and hopefully whatever they're working on now is going to be absolutely amazing and we can get some news about it sometime in the future. I wonder if the sole reason for them leaving is just because they got this better opportunity, which they describe as a unique and rare opportunity, or whether there were some issues in development that caused them to leave. I do know that since the Black Ops Cold War and the Modern Warfare storyline has collided, the storyline has gotten really messy. There's a lot of stuff with the canon that just doesn't really make any sense, and Modern Warfare was striving to be this realistic storyline. That was something that Taylor always said within interviews prior to release, and now they're having zombies and stuff like that, and I wonder if stuff just started to get a bit messy, and that could also be another reason as to why they're leaving. Trust me, I think that the fact that the Modern Warfare and the Black Ops storyline have collided is an awesome thing. It just doesn't really make much sense because there are so many inconsistencies. I think it would have worked if Black Ops Cold War was a reboot, so like at some point in time it was initially planned to be, because then they wouldn't have had all of these issues with connecting the two storylines together. But the fact that they already have established canon within the Black Ops universe, and then a lot of the Modern Warfare stuff is kind of contradicting with that, especially considering the Modern Warfare sequel is going to be happening very close to Black Ops 2. I don't know how that's going to work, because the technology was just so much more advanced in Black Ops 2, and there's no way we're even close to that technological standard. The other thing that I want to mention is recently Jeff Leach, who is the voice actor of Ghost in Modern Warfare, severed ties with Activision. So there were some recent clips floating around on Twitter that were portraying him as, I guess, a sexist, and Activision issued a statement saying they've severed ties and they do not condone sexism and stuff like that. Since then, he has came out and said, well, he reacts this way to males and females, and he was just reacting to trolls telling him to kill himself and all sorts of toxicity in his chat whilst he was live streaming, and it was something he said in the heat of the moment. And I do understand as to where he is coming from, but at the same time, what he did say was definitely sexist, and it also was not specifically targeting the individual that was trolling them. It was sort of more reacting to a broad group of people. And I did say on Twitter a while ago he should have just said sorry after these clips were coming out, because at the start he was just defending himself, saying he did nothing wrong. He has since apologized, and thankfully he has done that. I remember when I put out this tweet, a lot of people were saying in the replies how I was supporting cancel culture and stuff like that. Well, for one, I never said he deserved to be fired. All I said was that he should have issued an apology and tried to learn and grow from making this mistake, which he apparently has tried to do. The problem with cancel culture is it's often people online digging up old clips from 5-10 years ago and using those clips to tarnish your current character. Obviously, people grow and learn, everyone makes mistakes and everyone changes, and the world is constantly evolving, society is constantly improving overall, at least on average. So you can't really take something from 10 years ago to base it on someone's current character when they are likely not even the same person. I know even from like 3, 4, 5 years ago, pretty much all of my opinions have changed since then, and if you were to take things from back then, I wouldn't even agree with anything that I was saying back then now. And that is the problem with cancel culture, but this clip was just from December, which obviously isn't even half a year ago. Trust me, I have streamed before and trolls do get really annoying, but I don't ever think I've reacted in this exact way. There is absolutely nothing wrong with responding to a troll in your chat and personally attacking them, but the thing is, what he said wasn't really a personal attack on them, but can be used to insult a wide range of people. And you know, that's why you need to think about what you say, especially when you are live on stream, especially when you are representing a massive company and you are playing a game that you have been employed and paid to do work for. That's my take. You can let me know in the comment section down below if you agree, and hopefully Jeff Leach does in fact learn from this, because he did do a recent live stream with James C. Burns Burns, the ex-voice actor or actor who portrayed Sergeant Frank Woods from Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 4, but unfortunately was recasted in Black Ops Cold War because it was initially at one point in time planned to be a reboot. And there were some very interesting things that Jeff Leach talks about in this live stream, and I will leave a link to the original live stream in this video's description if you want to watch the full thing in its entirety. It's definitely interesting, but I'll play some specific clips from it for you right now.
I don't know, Activision on the Sunday of that weekend issued a response. They issued a statement. And I hasten to add, I don't have any hatred or negativity towards Activision. I think both of us, we discussed this previously, we're both grateful that we have been able to portray two of the best characters in Call of Duty franchise history, and that we got to have such an amazing connection with an endless audience of legends off the back of those jobs. You know, we're grateful for those opportunities. However, Activision and I had severed ties weeks prior to this incident happening 2 weeks ago. We were no longer working together. I wasn't on a contract. I had done my day contract work. It had been completed. And we had actually had an email. My agent had received an email informing me weeks prior that they were going to be going in a different direction. Or that you know, they were very grateful for my work. They loved what I did. And, you know, thanks very much for doing it. And see you later. Now, there was a couple of reasons for that. The director of the game is no longer working on that game. I was his latest hire, and I think it was a bit of a cleaning house situation. Some things were mentioned on my stream by him a year prior that maybe shouldn't have been mentioned, and that resulted in me being caught up in that. And I think those were all the reasons why I'm no longer going to be doing any ghost work. But it's very important to know that that had happened weeks prior to this situation. And then the Activision released a statement saying, you know, we have severed ties with Jeff Leach.
So Jeff Leach actually says that apparently Activision severed ties with him weeks prior to these clips surfacing and these supposed sexist clips. So this was something that was already a done deal. And when these clips were surfacing, Activision just took the opportunity and used it as an excuse to sever ties with him. But it was apparently already made weeks prior. And Jeff thinks that the reason as to why they got rid of him was because they were essentially cleaning house, because the prior directors left Infinity Ward, and apparently he was one of the last hires whilst they were still directors. So yeah, I really do not know what this means for the future and what this means for the Modern Warfare sequel, because I've seen a lot of other people from Infinity Ward announcing that they are leaving too over on Twitter. So, you know, with all of these creative changes and probably new narrative directors coming to replace the old ones, it means that the storyline might get a little bit messy in the future. I am expecting the Modern Warfare sequel to have a zombies mode, by the way, especially because zombies were in Verdansk. I really do think it's going to have a zombies mode. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of Modern Warfare's multiplayer. I absolutely detest it. Warzone's pretty good. The campaign was really good. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward at all for the sequel's multiplayer. So if they are planning to do a zombies mode, I hope it's going to be a lot of fun, since it'll probably tie into the Dark Ether storyline as well. He also said the reason as to why he may have been fired was because of the fact that on an old live stream last year, the directors were with him, and they apparently accidentally leaked about Soap returning in the future, and apparently there were some issues regarding that. I remember seeing some clips of it on Twitter a while ago and some drama. Yeah, I don't know, the Call of Duty scene is very weird and the Activision scene is very weird. They are very strict on what you are and aren't allowed to say. Even if it's just a slight slip up, it can land you in a lot of trouble. And I don't know exactly what this means for the sequel, because I highly doubt they're going to kill off Simon Goes to Riley. They're probably going to stick to the exact same storyline that they had planned for Modern Warfare 2. And considering in the original Modern Warfare 2, that was where Ghost died, I wonder whether they're going to try and do some sort of spin-off to that storyline plot. I don't think they're going to go for the exact same storyline, obviously, but maybe this time Ghost could kill Shepard, for example. In my own personal opinion, I think he's just going to be recasted, and they will have someone else voice Ghost instead. Maybe they could bring back the original Craig Fairbrass past who played Ghost in the original Modern Warfare trilogy. I know fans would be very happy for that, but in all honesty, I feel like they're just going to get someone else in. Or maybe, and this is really far-fetched, they could finally make Alex Simon Ghost Riley, the theory that I had ages ago that ended up being false, but maybe they could literally turn him into Ghost if Ghost does in fact die, or they find a way to write off his character. But I don't think they're going to do that because he's only recently left and they've probably already planned out the exact storyline for the Modern Warfare sequel, so they're not going to be making any last minute changes. If anything, this is probably going to affect the third Modern Warfare game instead of the second one. But yeah, I feel like they're just going to get someone else to voice Ghost instead. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it down in the comment section down below as always. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching and bye.